earthquake is the shaking of earth. So when earth shakes, and it is a natural event. And why earth shakes? Because there is the transfer of energy, release of energy in the form of waves, which are known as seismic waves. And these waves, they travel in all the direction. Okay. And generally, most of the earthquakes are because of the movement of tectonic plates. Interaction between the plates, it leads to earthquakes. Okay. And so in the last point, we have seen that majority of earthquakes occur at the boundaries of the tectonic plates. Then earthquake can be due to folding. Okay, so folding, when fold mountains are being formed there also, or if there is a volcanic eruption, it can also lead to earthquakes. Apart from it, the earthquakes, they are also due to some anthropogenic factors. Anthropogenic factors, like if there's some blasting is taking place in the mountain to make a tunnel, to make some road, or to widen a road, then that also can lead to earthquake. Or due to some dams or reservoirs, there can be earthquake. Okay, so number of factors are there for the earthquakes to occur, but the movement of the plates is the major factor. So earthquake, coming to the first point, earthquake, it can happen anywhere. However, the vast majority of earthquakes, they occur at the boundaries of the tectonic plates. This also we have discussed. So how the plates, they interact with each other, they move. Okay. So a pressure is built up along the boundaries, and it can result in the earthquakes. So what happens generally at the boundaries, there are deep cracks, okay, which are known as faults. So most of the earthquakes, they occur along these faults. So fault is basically the rock is, there is a crack on the rock, or there is a break in the rock. Okay. So that is the fault. So it provides an opportunity for the energy is building up inside of the earth in the form of earthquake. Okay. So energy is released via these cracks in the crustal rocks, or break in the crustal rocks. Along these faults, the energy is released. So what happens whenever the energy is released along this fault? The rocks, they move in the opposite directions. So force of friction binds the rocks on both the sides. But what is happening is there is continuous pressure from beneath. Okay. Because energy is there, continuous pressure is there from beneath. And what happens when this pressure from beneath of the earth, it exceeds the force of friction? When this exceeds, then suddenly there is a sudden movement. The rocks move in opposite direction. Okay. And earthquake, it happens. We have seen how the earthquakes, they occur, and most of them, they occur on the boundaries or interaction of the tectonic plates. Okay. But an earthquake can also occur in the middle of the plate, which is known as intraplate. Okay. And such earthquakes make up less than 10% of all earthquakes. Okay. Then other factors I have already told you, because of faulting, folding, volcanic eruptions, or some man-made factors, which are known as the anthropogenic factors, like building of some dams or reservoirs, or you can say blasting of a mountain or hill. Okay, that can also lead to the earthquakes. Okay. And the last point is that earthquakes are most unpredictable and highly destructive of all natural disasters. It can cause, huge loss of life and property. If there is an earthquake, it occurs in a nearby area which is highly populated, or which is very dense. Now, there are few terms which are used in respect to earthquakes. First of all, what is focus and what is epicenter? So both are different things, focus and epicenter. So focus is also called hypocenter. So it is that point in the interior of the earth from where the energy is released. If you see this diagram, focus is here. This is focus or hypocenter, where the energy is released, and the seismic waves, they travel in all direction. Okay. But epicenter is the nearest point on the surface of the earth. Okay. So it is the nearest point to the focus, and it is on the surface of the earth. Then we have two instruments that are used and these are related to earthquakes. First is the Richter scale. The Richter scale, basically what it does, it measures the magnitude of earthquake. Okay, so basically the range is from 0 to 9, and this scale was given by Charles F. Richter. So that is why this is known as Richter scale. Then there is another scale which is the Mercalli scale. So Mercalli, basically it measures the intensity. Intensity means that what was the effect in an area after the earthquake. Okay, so effect can be on two different areas, can be different. Okay, so intensity can vary. Intensity of the same earthquake can vary because the effects after the earthquake can be different, but the magnitude of the earthquake will always be same. So the Mercalli scale, it also ranges from 1 to 12, and it was modified in 1930, so given the name Modified Mercalli Scale. So there is a note: when earthquake occurs, the magnitude is given always in a single numerical value from 0 to 9. The value is given on the Richter magnitude scale. However, as I told you, intensity is variable. So intensity depends on the effect of the earthquake. So, however, intensity is variable over the area affected by earthquake, with high intensities near the epicenter and lower values further away.